Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alyssa Bicar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This podcast. I'm your co-host, Alyssa Bicar, here with my partner in crime, the fearless real estate investor, Andrea Lane. Who do we have for them today?
So I'm pretty excited today. Today we have Nana Hung, and Nana actually invests in my neighborhood. Well, the neighborhood I invest in, not where I live. So I'm very excited. She's in Pittsburgh. She owns 20 units. They're short-term, long-term, mid-term. So she's a pretty well-rounded investor. So Nana, welcome. So sorry.
My pleasure.
Good. So I have a question. My favorite. Why did you get into real estate?
Oh, I have to say it's because of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki. So when I was growing up, my family owned small restaurant business, and we also did retail. But what I found out is what really made the difference, what's really our value is the property behind that. And then I realized, okay, this is something I need to make wealthy when I grew up. But well, I didn't really have the chance to do it, but now as I was looking for financial freedom, financial independence, all kind of thing, I started to read books. And finally, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad just made so much sense to me. Everything it says combined with my experience growing up, it really is what I decided. That's the way for me to go.
I love that. So many people will say Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like pointed me in the direction. He's very influential in people's lives. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that was actually our first foray as a husband and wife team. We went to a Rich Dad, Poor Dad event up in Buffalo, I think. So my husband and I took a little plane and flew from Long Island up to Buffalo just to be involved, just to be in the room where people were interested in and invested in real estate. And, you know, there's something to be said for kind of catching the bug. We left that room not taking that necessarily that course of action, but something lit up inside of us that said, you know, I think we better find a way to make this work for us.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a mindset shift.
100%. Yeah. So what do you love most about real estate?
Realistically, of course, I would say the tax benefits, appreciation, and all those things. But I think from a personal point of view, what I really care is, as I said, I was growing up, we had the restaurant. Basically, we had the restaurant in the front, and then there's our home in the back. I really never had a real home to that extent. So when I started to be independent, I wanted to buy my personal home. I wanted to have that kind of home feeling. But then I started to realize, okay, when I do the real estate investment, money is one part, but another part is I put a tenant in there and I go visit them again. I notice how much change they have made to the house, that they are putting their family pictures out, putting their little decorations out. The children are playing inside the house, watching TV. It's just the kind of vision you actually can help somebody with a true home feeling in there, and then they become a part of the community. The children go to the school there. It's a really rewarding process.
I love that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got into real estate to not pay taxes. I wanted to lower my tax bill as much as I can. So I get that as well. Alyssa, sorry.
Yeah, it's very cool because you're providing a home. It sounds like the part that you love most about it is kind of, I don't know, it feels almost nurturing to provide a space where a family can make it their own. It's not like selling a product where, you know, here's the packaging, this is what it is. It's almost like, here's a clean slate. Go ahead and create your life from here. And I love that was what you loved about it. So I want to, wind back the clock just a little bit. You let us know in the green room here before we started recording that you're now doing this full time. So when you started, can you bring us into your real estate investment strategy and what skills you had from your personal and professional journey that allowed you to take that step and to create that momentum?
Yeah. So when we started to do real estate investment, I was a PhD student at Pitt. So I have a PhD training and all those, that made me really analytical and organized. I feel that comes very handy for me. So I'm very organized. I have all kind of SOPs. I keep documents. I write down everything I do. Of course, the numbers, analysis, all those. I really like doing that. That's part of my niche. But another part is before I became a full-time real estate investor, I was in sales. I was in sales in biotech industry and life science industry. It gives you a different perspective post PhD. Now you look at the people, you care about them, because all I see is it's not just about the number, the data anymore. It's about how you communicate with that. It helps me with the negotiation in getting the deals. Of course, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I have been doing that all the years. I found that helps me get good deals. But on the other part, it also helps me with communication with the tenants, with the township, with my investors. Everything comes to the end is communication. And to that end, our tenants are our customers. They paid, and we want to make sure they have a good experience. So I care is keep it professional but flexible. If things do not go well, I would like to take the time to talk with them, explain, clarify, and make sure they are happy and good to go.
I like that. I do have a question that it sounds like you have a personal experience with your tenants. So you manage your own properties, and
Yes.
do your tenants know that you are the owner?
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes they know I'm the real estate agent, but of course we do the property management from go backtrack. We own properties under different entities. Some of those, if we personal owned, they would know I'm the owner, but some of
Gotcha.
those are owned by the company's name. Then we have a management company. So I
That
would be the
manages.
property manager and the real estate agent for that.
Great. I'm always interested in how
Yeah.
people structure their property management company.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that comes, I learned a lot from Acre.
Yeah.
People there would tell you what kind of structure to do when you first get started. And then as you continue to evolve, they put you into different kind of other structures to help with asset protection, um, all those.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just like to point out, you mentioned Acre, and people on the podcast may not know, it is a real estate investment association. I'm big on networking, and so clearly are you, because that is where you learn. So I just wanted to make sure people knew what Acre was. Alyssa, sorry for interrupting.
Active community of real estate entrepreneurs. And that's here in Pittsburgh. So it's very cool to have someone on the podcast that invests in the same place where Andrea and I both have properties. So this is like a coming home type of conversation. So it sounds like your unique advantage was your analytical skills and your organization, as well as coupled with your sales and communications acumen. And putting those two things together really brings the nuts and the bolts fastened fully together with the personal experience and anchored in the reason why. Because as Andrea always says, yes, we're in the business of real estate investment, but this is a people business. We're investing not only in the people who live in our homes, but in the people who are our partners in the business, our resources, our bench of providers like our contractors, electricians, plumbers, as well as you said, Nana, the townships, and making sure you're communicating for and advocating for your taxes and your utilities and things like that. So what has been your biggest challenge or struggle lately?
It feels harder to see. My biggest challenge these days is finding deals. Well, I know sometimes we see you can always find a good deals, but the thing for me is as you continue to invest, you got more specific about the kind of property you want to have, the kind of neighborhood you have a vision about the specific kind of properties you want to keep for generations and pass to your children. It becomes harder because of all those strict criteria. So I have been looking really hard to find deals like that. Sometimes even though you can find the deal, the market is hard, so the numbers don't make sense. So we have to move on and find the next one. So it's been challenging. I haven't bought anything this year.
Yeah. I mean, and that, deal flow is a big part of this pipeline of our business so it sounds like you built a nice portfolio and you're still looking to grow.
Yeah.
But, tell us a little bit about how you've changed your either exit strategy or your holding strategy based on the shifting conditions in the market.
Yeah, that's where the short-term rental and the mid-term rental comes in. Before this, I was investing in those B plus neighborhood near Pittsburgh area. But since 2 years ago, we started to see some opportunities within Pittsburgh Metro, those hot area, the neighborhood like Lawrenceville, Bloomfield, and then we started to buy properties there. But once we buy and we do full gut renovation to those properties, the after repair value is much higher. We have so much capital in there. The best way we can do, right? I do the BRRRR strategy, but once I get it refinanced, the monthly payment is so much more than normally you do a smaller house. So I started to explore the short-term rental and the mid-term rental opportunities. And right now things are going well. I have 2 properties that are short-term and mid-term rental. It's a little bit hard when you do them together. So I started to pivot to have one property exclusively for short-term rental only. And I started to work with a co-host in the area. So he can help me with all those operations. I mean, I had fun. Working on the short-term rental side, but it's very time consuming. I'd like to keep my energy away and continue to find good deals.
Yeah. Andrea has something for you here.
I'm sorry, I'm coughing too much, so I'm staying on mute. So it really makes sense to do it that way. There are tax advantages to making sure that one is just short-term rentals as opposed to having them mixed in one property. So that's a good plan.
Yeah,
Nice.
we are constantly learning. So we have things we'd like to share with you after we're done with this call. So my next question is really about the nature of entrepreneurship. Now that you're a full-time investor, you are captain, maybe chief cook, maybe also bottle washer. So the nature of owning your own business can sometimes be isolating or more challenging when you're kind of responsible for the entire entity and all of its value that it creates. So how do you combat that entrepreneurship challenges that come up now, being the captain of the ship?
I really like it, actually.
Yeah.
My husband always asks me this question. Why we have so many friends who are just 2 W-2 workers and they have a good life. Why can't we just do that? I just told him, I can't. It's what my heart want to do. I want to do my own things. I just want to. I think growing up, I always feel there's something I should be doing. That's like my calling. But now I feel I am doing this real estate investment. It's not just for money. Now I have a bigger sense of purpose. I can provide high quality housing to quality tenants. We don't invest in Some of the neighborhood, as you might know, we invest in good neighborhood and we put some of the properties that would be abandoned for several years in the neighborhood, and we make it beautiful and bring the charms back again. I feel we're doing really good things to the neighborhood, to the community, and to the people around us. And on the other part, I started to share what I'm doing with my friends, with my circle. I'm involved in some networking groups. I tell them, and they started to see the potential of being a real estate investor. I just feel I'm getting carried away about all the good things that could happen.
It's so
Risk,
good.
risk
So
is
good.
always there.
It's right, but you're normalized to the risk now. Like being the captain of your ship, you're realizing that taking the risk and then seeing the benefit and the reward, you almost don't want to go back. I call it the unemployable
Yeah.
paradigm.
Yeah.
I'm unemployable. Never happened. I've been unemployable for the last, I don't know, 15 years, maybe more. And I understand your husband's like, it could be easy if I work for a W-2, but you
Yeah.
own your life. Right now, if you have kids and you want to go to their game, so you take off and go. You're not tied to a person saying, oh, you can't do that. I love the freedom as well of
Yeah.
real estate, right?
Yeah.
It allows you to do what you want when you want. It's not that you don't work, but it's certainly around your time.
Yeah, I love is for the Airbnbs we did. I had my kids to do there and assemble the furnitures. So they stayed in there, they felt good, and I also took them to meet the midterm rental tenants there, and they felt so proud, and they showed them like they built this, they built that.
Wow,
Yeah.
lady.
I
Oh, after my own heart.
love making it a family business. My son is in business with me, so I agree that you really want a family business.
And you know what, too, growing up in that environment where, your family was involved in business and it was kind of, I also grew up in a family business where like there was no boundaries. The business was dinner table talk and your first job, it was just assumed that you were going to work in the stores. Like there was no, you're part of the reason why this gets to work.
Yeah.
So being out there on your own, in your own business, how do you invest in your growth and in your knowledge?
Okay, so here first, of course, Acre. I highly recommend Acre, the local chapter. They have so many learning opportunities there, and the monthly meeting you get to network with people. That's how we get started. I love asking questions, absorbing everything I learn, and network with the people that come home, do my research, read books. Is that something I really want to do? I would do it. My wish is if that works, good, I will keep doing it. But if it doesn't work, I know it doesn't work and I move on. But on the other part, I feel we cannot do this alone. We have to be surrounded in the community of like-minded people. So I really, really appreciate the community we have here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you, right? Real estate is a people business, not a property business, and people don't
Yeah.
recognize that. And I know Acre is really good in Pittsburgh, but I belong to various real estate groups around the country, so they have them available in other areas. And I'm just sharing that for our viewers to know that you should go out and look for something like that in your area because you get so much value from it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Whenever we travel, I would look for one local real estate networking event there and then try to go there and talk with the people, understand the market. It's like something we do, right? When we travel, we pull out Zillow or Redfin, look for the prices nearby, see if this is a good market to invest.
Yeah. And so it becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your lifestyle. And this is the thing, Andrea and I in our group programs, we want you to shift your identity into the person who is always learning, always expanding. And so if you're a curious person and you have an idea about being involved in real estate, I mean, all of my personal growth and development came through the grand pursuit of business, and starting a real estate investment business was no different. So we want to thank you for being here with us today. And as we wrap up our interview, we want to know a little bit about what are the plans you have in place for the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, of course, continue to find good deals and to scale up. But on the other part, after I have been working in real estate full time, I realized if you wanted to go big, you need to work with more people. But if people don't know about me, even if no matter how good I am, they cannot find me. So my goal is really to develop my personal brand. I'm trying to be more active in my local community on social media and talk about how real estate has made a big difference in my personal and professional life. I try to encourage more people to do similar things. And that's why I feel so honored to be able to get on this podcast.
Well, together we rise. So how can people find you? Where can people go to learn more about you and connect?
Oh, right now I'm on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is my social medium. I don't have a website yet, but I'm also involved in, if I can talk, there's a nonprofit organization called Toastmasters. I don't know if you have, okay. So I'm involved in 2 chapters here. In those, I would be very active in those, and you can look for our website online and find those information. Everybody is welcome to come for personal growth, communication skills, leadership development. And first visit is free.
I love that. Well, you heard it here. Nana Hong, moving and shaking and continuing to invest and grow. It has been our pleasure. High five for being here with us today. And in the meantime, we always are broadcasting interesting conversations with real estate investors so that you can see today's landscape and also know what's possible, because who you are in life and your career are the very skills that lend themselves to being the best real estate investor you can be as you build real estate investment as a business. For those of you listening on the broadcast, don't go away. We have another amazing guest lined up for you right after this.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.